have some major contracts coming up for review in the next year or two, and we're really looking hard at how we take the opportunity as we resource those to create more flexible commercial arrangements, which line up with the cloud thinking or the cloud business model, if you like. So looking at shorter term contracts and looking at how we create more flexibility to source from a number of providers, so more contestability in the model. Clearly contestability is enabled to some degree by portability of underlying workloads, and I guess that's where the technology comes in. So I think one of the things Michael's spoken about is the Enterprise Cloud Leadership Council, which we're involved in, and really that's about exactly that. So I think there's two ways you can get trapped, I guess. One is from a technology perspective and one is from a commercial perspective. So we're looking at both of those aspects, and from a technology perspective, there's a lot of providers today that come with cloud offerings. But really what we're looking for is portability between those cloud offerings. So one of the things we're doing with the Enterprise Cloud Leadership Council and doing ourselves here is looking at how we create a generic infrastructure stack, and if people can enable that or provide that to us, then we feel confident that that will give us portability from a workload perspective. Then the second piece of that really becomes making sure we can contract on that basis with providers, to give us, the ability contractually to move workloads between providers. I think in the past there's been a lot of work done around, standardisation, but it tends to have been constrained somewhat both by technology and by the way that people want to put contracts together, over longer terms. So they have some committed payback around the investments they make. We're looking to change that paradigm. I think some people in the market are a lot faster off the mark than others. I think typically it suits the telco business model a lot better. Telcos are used to investing a lot of capital up front and then selling it back into the market, a dollar at a time. But I think quite quickly a lot of the other, especially IT service providers, are starting to catch up to some of that thinking and really look hard at how they might enable that for us. I think it does create some considerable challenges for some of these companies, from a business model perspective. So, where they've been used to locking in, medium to long-term annuity revenues, which are pretty much guaranteed. I think they're looking at moving towards a model where there's a lot more contestability or uncertainty in their revenue streams, and that certainly creates some challenges for them. Cloud to me is not only about the technology but about the model more broadly, and certainly a big piece of that is the commercial aspects and how we sign up for services in the future. We would prefer to buy those services than deliver them ourselves, and so what we're really doing is moving towards the work we're doing with our customers, with our providers, is really based around creating more flexible models for us on the back of some of the technology that we're now experimenting with. So I guess what that means is we're looking for shorter term contracts. We're looking for more flexibility around volumes, and we're looking for the ability to create contestability around some of those volumes. So the way I've talked to some of our providers about it is that I'd like to think that we continue to buy services from them because they're providing a very attractive service on any day, both in terms of service levels and price. And if they continue to do that, then why would we want to move our service as opposed to being locked into a 5 or 10 year contract, where we really have no option or can't afford to buy our way out of it.
Nick, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Great, thank you.